KSI is now in the ring. You're going to have to go because you're needed. Thank you. So KSI has got into the ring. Thank you.
Looks in great nick, eh? He looks in absolute great nick. I remember seeing him about 4 months ago and he was weighing at least 10 kilos more. Fantastic shape.
Yeah, he's definitely slimmed down. He's got more ripped.
Yeah. I mean,
he's looking more like a professional athlete
yeah, he looks
than he used
cut
to.
and dry for fight week. Fantastic.
He looks very relaxed and very, very calm, considering what he's about to undertake.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's in the zone. He has been here before. Let's not forget, he's been in huge fights before. Obviously, the fights with Logan Paul. Those are big events, and so it's very different to anyone else at this stage of their career. A novice who's already boxed at Staples Centre in the Manchester Arena on Saturday in front of a sold-out O2.
Yeah.
You don't do that after 3 pro fights, yeah? That's your dream after 30, 40 pro fights. So it's really a turnaround on the career. It turns on the head. Fantastic.
Well, yeah, he's just getting ready to go. I think he's going to be doing some skipping, wrapping his hands. But Callie, we'll let you go and watch him and then see how he's doing. But thank you.
We'll talk later.
Yeah, come back and join us in a bit. Thank you. Right, joining me now, Zain Faruqi, come in. Influencer, TikTok star, how are you?
I'm all good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. We're finally here on Fight Week.
Yes.
Now, the whole YouTube, TikTok scene is your thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know all about it. You know most of these guys in there.
Yeah, I've been growing up watching them for the last decade, so to see them in person, it's a bit like, wow.
Yeah, obviously we've started off the main attraction in there first, KSI.
KSI went in first. I didn't expect that. I thought they would save him to last, but he's gone straight in. I respect it.
Straight in.
But
and he looks great in there.
he looks great, honestly. Like, he's been out the ring for 3 years, and I think it would be daft to assume he hasn't been training in those 3 years. Obviously, he's had a lot of time to train, practice, and now he's back fighting on Saturday, and he's looking good, but I expected it. Like, 3 years training, he wasn't going to come back and not be good.
And he is such a big star, isn't he? He's such a huge name.
Massive. With KSI, it's just he's a massive name. Like, obviously not just UK, he's gone global. Anywhere in the world you go, people will know him. But that obviously at the same time does add more pressure, because everyone knows him. He has to perform.
All the eyes are on him.
Exactly.
All of them. We got KSI's manager.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
Very well.
Now we're here. He's in the ring. He's looking good. How good is it now to be here in Fight Week?
I mean, it's been such a roller coaster that at this point we're just ready for expecting the unexpected, you know?
That's what we all expect from KSI, to be honest.
That's
Two fights in one night.
Yeah, well, we came up, I suggested it to him, he didn't hesitate.
Is it your idea? Is this whole 2 fights in one night crazy idea, is that from you?
I was half joking, but he went with it and he wasn't letting go. And then, of course, you know, the matchmaker who put it together didn't vet the guy, but he's fought for many really well-known cards and never had any controversy. But with the internet, with these guys, with influencers, their fans, they're all super detectives, especially the haters. They'll find out if your great-grandmother took a Cadbury's caramel from the shop at some point. I don't think they had that back then, but maybe. But yeah.
So now we have the 2 fights. He's fighting the pro boxer and Swarms has come in.
Right.
You might know there's a bit of beef between, everyone thinks Swarms and KSI are friends, they've done music together, but there's actually a bit of beef between them, isn't there?
It's a light beef. They don't like each other, but they don't hate each other. It's not like Jake Paul and JJ where they really are out for blood for each other. That's no act, there's no joke, there's nothing. Not that Swarms is an act, but look, I got taken the piss out because I tried to explain what happened, and people were like, oh, Swarms didn't show up for a show, so they've got beef. It's not that deep, but it was disrespectful. He didn't show up to a couple of important shows a couple of times, and then JJ was like, this guy's a knob. And then out of nowhere, Swarms gets on some TikTok live and says, I will smash JJ. So what happened was, Wasabi was supposed to fight, he pulled out. Jake Paul then, and when I knew Jake Paul had something to do with Wasabi, when he signed him to MVP, we had to take precautions. And obviously it's not that easy to get a lineup of fighters, or high-level influencers who are just willing to do a training camp and maybe most likely not fight. you know. So Swarm said, yeah, I will. But I guess he didn't start training until a few weeks ago, but you know, but he's done really well. He looks skinny, and I respect that he's taking the fight, and I think it's a great opportunity for him. His music's doing well now again, and there's benefits of associating with KSI, period. And you know, I hope he makes short work of Swarms, but at the end of the day, it's a wild card. We don't know what he's capable of, and everyone's got that right-hand swing at the end of the day. It's boxing, so
that is the tricky thing. No one knows, because Swarms hasn't done it before. No one knows what to expect, and he's the opening fight, and it could all go wrong at the opening fight of the night.
Yeah, I think sometimes that makes it harder, because obviously with a boxer, you know what to expect, but someone that's never boxed coming into the ring, you would have a game plan for someone who's boxing. So someone who's never boxed, you know, JJ has to be careful, because you never know what to expect. You have to expect the unexpected. But I think JJ, I think he has Swarms. I'm feeling confident he has Swarms. But it's about how quickly he can get Swarms, because he does have another fight. So you would assume his plan is to get Swarms out quickly, first 2 rounds maybe, and then focus on the main boxer. So the main thing is hoping that Swarms doesn't give him too much of a tough time in the later rounds.
I mean, presumably that is his plan. Get him out as soon as possible. As quickly as possible in the first round, ideally. No cuts, no injuries.
No, that's the plan. Hopefully everything goes to plan, and I'd like to see that. At the end of the day, these Mexican fighters have a very unique, aggressive style. We had a training camp for Alex Wasabi. We didn't have a training camp for 2 fights, and for Swarms and what are we calling him, La Bamba. That's what we're calling him, you know, like he's the baby-faced assassin. Yeah. And he's had dozens and dozens of amateur fights, so he's got experience under his belt. He's fresh, he's 23.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a night of fun, but if anyone can do it, JJ can. He had no business beating Logan Paul. He didn't have a proper training camp and a proper team at the time that was on a high level of training. You know, Vidal did an amazing job, but it wasn't something Vidal was used to doing anyway. He's an amazing boxer.
Yeah.
But now he's prepared. So I think for that, Logan had a proper camp. Yeah. JJ's heart and will took him through that, and he got the W, you know, but this time if you watch him, you'll see so many improvements, and he's really studying the game. And it's the same with whatever he applies himself to. With music, he loved music, but he's a student of the game. You ask him what the 6th track on Nina Simone's sophomore album is, and he'll tell you and break it down for you. So he's a real student of whatever he's passionate about, you know.
It seems like JJ can do anything he turns his hand to. He's successful at anything he does. He does social media, YouTube, he does rapping, he does music, he does acting, boxing.
I think the way I see it with JJ, his mentality, if someone tells him he can't do it, he'll go and do it.
You're absolutely right. That's why I have to use reverse psychology a lot. Hey, you don't want to do this deal. This deal's shit. It's only 50 million
That's what you said about the 2. You don't want to do 2 fights in one night.
Like, gotta be careful with your jokes.
He liked that one. He was like, yeah, bro. And it's going to be Bryce Hall. I don't know if you guys know.
Yeah, I heard.
But Bryce was on a movie contract where he can't do high-risk things like bungee jump or box or anything. So then we asked 4 or 5 other guys that made...
Taylor.
And then I was like, bro, what if you fight a pro boxer before Jake Paul does? You know,
it's crazy. Let alone to have KSI having 2 fights is crazy enough, but one of them being a pro boxer, I mean, it's crazy. But if he does pull it off, like we all think he will, he's got a 1-up on Jake Paul, and I think that really does prove that KSI is the A side for the fight.
I mean, listen, the A side is really how many people you bring in, more than it just is. It's how many eyeballs, how many asses in seats. It's not how many wins or losses, really. Typically, if you're going to bring the money in, that's what the business side of it is. That's what the A side is. And he dwarfs him. It's not even if Jake Paul has another 100 fights, he'll still be the A side in those terms.
Like, the statistics speak for themselves. The facts don't lie. You just go on Twitter, simply any social media app. You look at the likes, you look at the comparisons. JJ's times 10 in likes and everything.
But there's a reason for it. And he has his haters too. But honestly, anyone who takes time to get to know him, he's a very, very authentic, honest, down-to-earth human being, and he's got a very clean and pure heart. You know. So for me, it's an honor to manage him. It's an honor to be his partner in this venture. And I think I think we're here to stay in this space and build something, long term. So we're excited about it.
Yeah.
And obviously, Saturday night, the 2 fights, providing all goes to plan, he gets the wins. That's one box ticked. I don't think he'll just be settling with that. What is going to be the next outrageous, out there thing that he's going to do? There's going to be something else up his sleeve, surely.
100%.
Yeah, we've got another fight planned for him a few months later. I think he's going to have both hands tied behind his back for that one. He likes to challenge himself. And I think he thought to himself, look, maybe the fans, the Alex Wasabi, it was always supposed to be, I've had a 3-year absence, let me warm up. I know I'm the favorite with Wasabi. Let's do it. Initially, to be honest with you, he was like, let's do the Jake Paul fight. And I said, bro, let's just get you in the ring.
Yeah.
So if you say to him, fight Jake Paul tomorrow, fight whoever tomorrow, within reason.
Yeah.
Except he's also not delusional. If you say fight Canelo tomorrow.
I mean, people have called out Canelo.
Yeah, I've seen there's a big mixture. Ever since Logan Paul had the exhibition match with Mayweather, you see like Jake Paul's calling out Canelo and all sorts. Look, I think that's some delusion there. Jake Paul would make, Canelo would make short work of any crossover boxer there is.
I mean, he makes short work of most pro boxers, to be honest.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, there's levels. But having said that, look, Logan fought, and we love Logan, humble, great down-to-earth guy. He fought Mayweather, and I think he did extremely well for the situation he was in.
Yeah.
Of course, there was a big weight advantage. Mayweather has a couple of broken hands. He doesn't hit as hard as he used to. But, no one's ever going to knock out Mayweather, in my opinion. He's the greatest boxer of all time, probably. My favorite of all time is Tyson, but of course JJ now.
Yeah. I mean, we're looking at him now. He looks unreal. This is a new man from what we saw in 2019.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not there to throw haymakers and take silly chances. He's calculated, and he moves well. His balance has improved immensely.
He looks like the real deal here tonight.
Yeah.
He has transformed himself. He looks like an athlete now, whereas a few years ago, he just looked like you sort of normal bloke off the street, physique-wise, but now he's starting to look like he's an athlete.
Look, his mentality is there, his physique, his health, his mental health, all of that, it's all aligned. And I think for myself, working with JJ, took me about 18 months to 2 years to really learn him and understand what is going to affect him in an adverse way, pushing him too hard in this direction, that direction. And he's his own man, and I think at the end of the day we found a really good balance, and he's very happy training boxing. He's very happy when he's in the studio or performing live. And honestly, life is about being happy, so do the things that make you happy. If I told you guys how much money, how many offers we've turned down just because
33 million.
No, that was a while ago. It's over $150 million worth of offers turned down.
Wow.
Completely. And it's okay, because no amount of money is worth compromising your happiness. And I speak from experience with that.
Yeah.
I've been the guy who sold myself to doing shit that I should. Can I swear?
Yeah, you
Doing
can.
shit.
You have
already.
Yeah.
We all
Is
have.
that the first time?
No, Kala did.
Okay. Yeah, it's at the end of the day, nothing's more important than feeling good about yourself at the end of the day, and looking in the mirror and being happy with who you are. So that's our whole brand, and that's our whole kind of moniker with everything.
Yeah, and I think looking at JJ, obviously being a fan of him the last few years, to see how his mental health has improved, because boxing is a mental game as well as it is a physical game. And 2020 there was a lot of stuff, family problems, so to see everything happen, him and Deji getting along now, like his mental health seems a lot better. I think that's going to only help him in the ring.
He's inspired me to be a better person.
Yeah.
And I'm always more like a father figure to all of my clients.
Yeah.
And I think the way he dealt with like the Wasabi, the pull out and the 3-4 days that sort of subsequently came about, I didn't say anything. I would never be like, bro, I can't believe it, blah, blah, blah. But he called me, he's like, I know what space you're in. And he gave me a pep talk, and he like talked me out of being down about it. So yeah, his mental health. He started seeing a therapist, which he's very proud of, and we should all
do it.
Yeah, it's nothing to be ashamed of. What happened is he was YouTube famous to a very high level.
Very high.
And then we started doing other things, music and so on and so forth, and he became, like, honestly, we'd go out and he'd get mobbed, and this was after lockdown finished, so he became really, really a household name during lockdown. So that level of that change, that sudden change for him affected his mentality, and that's why we got a nice therapist, a great guy, and he credits his therapist to a lot of his success.
So I think it's always good to talk. Mental health is key. A lot of, especially with men, keep it, quiet, don't say anything. So someone as massive as JJ showing that it's okay to have a therapist should show a lot of young guys out there that.
Absolutely. Look, I'm an advocate for being tough. I'm an advocate for not making a meal out of things unnecessarily. And I think some people are being bred to be a little too soft. And it's a trend to sort of be like, I don't believe in being a victim, but I do believe in getting help when you need it. There's nothing to be ashamed of 100%. With that. So it's about balancing it, and that's all.
He looks happy and relaxed in that ring. Just a reminder, you can keep up to date with all things Fight Week. Subscribe to Into Boxing, and you can get live reactions. Make sure you're signed up to Getter, the fastest growing social media platform. So we're just watching JJ now, just doing some stretches. He looks relaxed, happy. You wouldn't know he's got 2 fights in one night. How are you going to be on fight night? Do you think you're going to be a bit stressed?
A fucking stress case, like I was with the last fight. And but I believe in him. I just, I'm very confident, and I'm very. But listen, it's also my event with JJ and the boys, Kala and Nissa and DAZN, and it's our first outing. So of course there's going to be some nerves.
Of course.
But this guy. Listen, 5 minutes before his Brits performance, he was dead asleep. I had to wake him up. He's like, oh shit, okay, cool, goes on stage. He's missing that gene that makes you nervous.
No, I think one thing as well, everything ties in with the music. Obviously, he's performing in front of thousands and thousands of people, and that does give him an advantage, because that's a huge factor. Fighting in front of people, a lot of people can't do it, he's nervous, but with the experience he's had with the previous boxing matches, his music, it does help him.
100%, 100%. Yeah, well.
Yeah, Isak, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll speak to you throughout the week, but best of luck for keeping calm on fight night.
Yeah, I will. I'll see you guys then.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, he looks good. He looks
serious.
He just looks in good shape. He looks happy. He looks like he belongs in that.
Yeah, and I think that's the main thing. Composure is key with boxing. Obviously, like we were saying, it's a mental game as well as a physical game. So to see him in the ring, he looks composed, calm. I think that's what will win him the fight.
He's having a 3 years out the ring. He doesn't seem like it. He's having a very. I mean, he's just enjoying himself. He's having a good day. He's not.
And I think that's the best thing about him. Obviously, he's used to like public pressure, public crowds. For him, this is probably normal. But I think that's a key advantage he has, because like I don't think many other influencers could come here and have the composure he's showing now. He looks calm, happy, smiling.
He's in the ring now. Wade's just going to ask him a few questions.
2 fights, 1 night. Your thoughts on the preparation behind 2 opponents at 1 night?
Honestly, I felt like me just fighting Smalls wasn't enough. Like, I came through and I was like, yo, I want to get rid of the ring rust. This is my first fight in 3 years. First fight in 1,000 days plus. So I was like, you know what? It's time to really test myself and push it to the limit and see what I can do, see how far I can go. The main goal is to fight Jake Paul, obviously. That's my main goal. That's who I want to fuck him up, essentially. But in order for me to do that, I need to constantly test myself, push myself, see how far I can go. And I feel like me fighting 2 people in 1 night is the perfect way to do that. I mean, no one else has done it that I know. In recent years, and especially in YouTube boxing. So I thought, hey, I've got good stamina, I'm fit, I'm ready, I feel confident in myself, feel confident in general, so let's get it, bro.
Here we have, I need a prediction for both fights. On fight night, how do you get this job done? 2 fights 1 night, how do you do it in spectacular fashion?
Alright, so with Swarms, it's going to be a knockout. Either a knockout or TKO. I think the referee's going to save him. But you know, I'd want it to be in round 1 because obviously I've got 2 fights. I want to get it over and done with. But it really depends on how hard he works and how much he tries to push me. He won't be able to survive. He won't be able to survive. I will drown him and he will collapse in that ring. And then my second opponent, obviously he's a pro boxer. He's going to be a bit more tricky. But I've got a few certain moves I want to do on him. Practice a few things, try a few things out, and essentially get some good work, get that ring rust fully gone so that when I do fight again in either December or January or whenever we do fight, I'm very ready and prepared and getting closer and closer to that Jake Paul fight. Yeah.
All right, and there he is, folks. Your main event, your start of the event, the man of the hour,